What's going on, guys? So today I'm making my video on Cardarine. If I keep looking right, it's because I'm at work and I don't want to be talking while a customer comes in because it looks bad. I know it might get annoying, so I need to start making my videos at home, but I'm usually just bored here sometimes, and I think it's my best time to make videos. So I want to talk about Cardarine because Cardarine is super interesting. This might be one of my longer videos, um, even though I don't like to make long videos, just because I want to talk about some things that are maybe not so much talked about, and of course the things that are talked about regarding it. So Cardarine, in short, let me just tell you what I experienced from it. One, got blood work on it. My cholesterol was incredible. I've gotten blood work without it. It's boosted my HDL over 10 points, lowered my LDL over 20 points, just crazy. Um, that can be achieved at actually a very low dose. I didn't use a low dose, but I've seen people who use low doses and it did wonders for their blood work, as low as 5 milligrams. I think I was using 10, but that was kind of just an experiment. So that is what I noticed. Everyone thinks you're superhuman. You have superhuman endurance on it. Well, if you have that kind of expectation, you might be disappointed. But I was not disappointed because the endurance benefits were I could superset without feeling winded at all. Okay, I could be on a high incline of a treadmill where typically I'd be gasping for air, and literally I was breathing normally. Um, that's how I can best explain the endurance benefits, because when you hear it, it sounds so over exaggerated from people, but really those two benefits in itself um, are pretty big, and it works well for someone trying to work out and stuff. But I think it would be best applied to someone who is running who does cross country, or maybe playing in a basketball game or something, where you're constantly running for long durations. I think that's where it's applied best, not short bursts or sprints. So that's why supersets it helps a lot, or long running on or walking on the treadmill, things like that. Maybe a stairmaster. So those benefits I noticed, and then the third benefit, it helped me with fat loss. So if you look at the compound in general, it's supposed to aid in fat loss. A lot of people say they don't see fat loss. Well, it's not like a fat burner, but it helps utilize calories much more efficiently. So, for example, I was in a deficit and I was losing pretty constantly. Every 1.1 to 1.5 pounds a week, and without any changes to diet, it made it go to 2 to 2.5 pounds a week, and I could just visually see it. I just noticed the difference. So that's my experience with it personally. Those are the three biggest benefits that I noticed, probably the only benefits. And some of those benefits, like the cholesterol, is super valuable. Could be super valuable to someone, especially if you have shitty blood work and shitty cholesterol levels. Which, if you're younger watching this, you probably don't have to worry about, but it's just something to take into consideration. And then the side effect, the big side effect that everyone's been talking about for so long, and I'm not super educated on the conversions and stuff to it, so I'm just gonna give you a little brief uh, brief explanation of my thought process on it. So the cancer studies. So there was a study done with a bunch of rats who were given a certain amount of Cardarine over the span of a year or something, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, and those rats ended up developing cancer. The doses were not high in the study. They're not too high, at least, not too far from the recommended dosage. Um, and it was continuously used for not too long either. So whatever it was, 6 to 12 months, maybe a little more. But there's a couple things to take into consideration with that. One, rat conversion and human conversion are completely different. And I'm pretty sure that the lifespan of a rat is much different to humans, as is a dog. I don't know what it is, but I believe it's something for example, 1 rat year equals 7 human years. So if the rat was doing it for 1 year, it would equal to human doing it for 7 years. Okay. What you can call it? What was I saying? Okay, so you have that conversion, and then you have the dosage conversion too. A rat taking in 20 milligrams is maybe close to a human taking in 100 milligrams, whereas humans usually typically take 20 milligrams, sometimes 30 or less. So that's what a lot of, especially the people who are selling the SARMs, have been really trying to emphasize, that the conversions are not are not the same and you can't compare them. But what I will say is that the conversion um, for rats to humans in terms of dosage is really, I think those people are exaggerating a little bit because I think it's a lot closer than people think. And someone wrote a really in-depth analysis of it, like a good friend of mine, and it's actually closer to maybe 50 to 70 milligrams, where the rats were really using if you were to put it into human dosages. So it's still 2 times the regular dosage, but people who are using, and anyone, there's always someone who's always doing something extreme or reckless. So there's some people out there who are doing it, doing higher dosages, even though it literally probably does nothing more. So those are just my thoughts on it. I've used it before. I don't think I'll use it again, even though it was really beneficial. I think they're just better things to use. I don't think it's worth even like having in the back of my head. Oh shit! I have a customer